My name is René Dandiker, President of the Swiss Academy of Engineering Sciences, and I have the honor to chair this second session. I will ask again on Professor Werner Stauffacher to present to you Michael Grätzl, laureate on
of a wholly new class of solar cells, devices that are intended to transform the sun's light into electricity.
We have solar cell, but see, we have printed our logo, so it's something that can be printed. And it's a cell that can be made easily transparent. So you have a possibility to make electric power producing glasses or building facades. It also absorbs light from all angles. That's what the green leaf does. A silicon or normal p-n junction just absorbs the light from one angle, from one side, and not from all angles. So in the dye cell, it's very similar. We have the molecular sensitizer. You know that Lumiere on the slide. I have to explain that. Excitation. Then comes the charge separation step. So now we have positive charges in one material, negative charge in the other material. These charge carriers are not produced the same material. That's why the recombination is much slower than in normal silicon devices. Like the dye sensitized cells so much. I was asked this by a journalist. I just come back from Korea. 7 sessions on an Asian photovoltaic congress on our dye sensitized cells. 7 sessions. And so they asked me, why is there this enchantment? And what I answered was, I think in Asia, people are infatuated with beauty. I end my presentation by telling you how important it is to encourage the young people. We have to, we're getting older, and I mentioned when I had Schoto Ruth-Dreyfus 15 years ago. And so we have to make sure there is, the young people get also this infatuation to continue work along renewable energy supplies.
But I really wonder what is the magic formula behind his capacity of bringing enthusiasm to young scientists.
Well, I would say photosynthesis. I'm a vegetarian.
What is the conversion rate of producing hydrogen from how many terawatt you need to get how many cubic meters of hydrogen?
Well, I'm teaching thermodynamics, so fortunately I can answer this question. If you burn 1 mole or 2 grams of hydrogen, you will get 2.6 electron volts, which translates to about 250 kilojoules. 2 grams of hydrogen, 250 kilojoules. Now, avec la règle des trois, as the French say, you can calculate now if you want a megajoule, how much grams of hydrogen. But it's certainly hydrogen is a good vector. It does have the issue of storage.
Thank you very much, the two of you.
Thank you.
Michael Grätzl. Now maybe that the history of science will also help us to understand what we have to do in the future. But first I would like to invite here Professor Nicolas Dumas.
Coming from philosophy and the history of ideas, Rossi-Monti concurs with the view that the history of science can never describe its development as a linear process of progressive growth, but must of necessity emphasize the tortuous, non-linear and by no means inevitable nature of the historical evolution of science.
That the truths presented to us as self-evident in the manuals of the sciences, of the various sciences, are always the results. That behind those results are long, complicated processes, and that struggles, contrasts, difficulties, attempts to identify crisis situations and then to get out of them, underline each of those results. The emergence of new social figures in Europe, the engineers or natural philosophers, who were only called scientists only in the 19th century. The word scientist is a word called for the first time in the 19th century. And of science not, but the scientist, yes. And of a new evaluation of work, technology, and the mechanical arts. If one dedicates his life to research of this type and decides to spend the majority of his time in the company of people who no longer exist and pages written many centuries ago, we will certainly not derive great satisfaction, nor a sense of completeness, nor even the sensation of knowing for sure what is looking for. I like goals. If you look them in the face hard enough, they generally run away. I agree with Geert's conclusion in his little book of 1995 entitled After the Fact. It is this work is an excelling, interesting, disorienting, useful and fun way to spend your life. Thank you.
That there is a close relationship between applied sciences and basic sciences. And my question is, is it possible for you to show this interrelationship in the development of the sciences?
I don't know. I hope something, but I am now a thesis about future. I have many difficulties to study the past. In the past, there was a very strong separation. The so-called artes liberales. There are the arts of the men free that are not slaves. The mechanical arts are typical of slaves. And the term mécanique is used as an insult, In 1680, in a dictionnaire de la langue française de Richelieu, there is mécanique, is used as an insult. Manzoni, I Promessi Sposi. Vile meccanico, vieni che ti fo un occhiello nel ventre, vuol dire con la spada. Il vile meccanico è un insulto comune, il meccanico è un essere inferiore. And the transformation of mechanic in a positive judgment is a very long process, and in positivism, in the Europe of positivism, it's possible to think that if my daughter is married with an engineer, it's a very big, but not before. One of the opposition to Galileo is motivated by this difference between mechanical arts and the theories, because Galileo introduced in the astronomy, with this mathematical science, mechanical instruments. I know in Italian the phrase, usato nelle cose terrene fa meraviglia, ma usato nelle cose celesti raddoppia il numero delle stelle. They think that the telescope duplicates the number of the stars. Thank you very much.